a newer coach on the call today, and we do this every once in a while, and I'm excited about it because it just shows that she's been coaching for about a year and a few months, that she was able to get a really good start to this business, and she's got some great tips for us today. So let me introduce her. She became a success starter in her first 3 months of the business. So that means that she achieved Success Club every single month when she joined in this business. And even now she's a Success Club All-Star, which means that she has hit it every single month for at least 12 months. So she's had a really great start in this business, and that's a huge deal. She's now a 5-star diamond coach, and she is from, I forgot the name of her city. Oh my God, Houghton, Louisiana, which sounds incredible. Her name is Sydney Thompson. Let's welcome Sydney to the call. Hey.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and to just share kind of how I got started as a new coach. So
I'm so glad. So I'll get out of the way. Why don't you share with people how you came to become a coach?
All right. So it was a little over a year ago that I started coaching. And at the time, I was a first-year 5th grade teacher, and my husband had just deployed for the first time. And so my life was super crazy, to say the least, and I wasn't really spending any time focusing on myself. I was really just focusing on my classroom. I was one of those teachers. And I started watching my coach on social media. She was waking up at 4 in the morning. She was getting her workout in, and she just seemed so happy. And she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to join her boot camp. And of course I said no right away because I didn't know what it was she was doing. But about a week later, I reached back out to her and said, okay, let me know what it is you're doing. And she signed me up to do 80-day obsession. And I was not the girl who worked out or ate healthy or anything like that. But I decided to go all in with it. And just 12 days later is when I decided to become a coach, because I was already seeing physical results, and I was just seeing how much this opportunity could change my life, and I wanted other people to experience that as well. So I started coaching, and from the beginning I told her, hey, I don't want to quit my job. That's not my goal. I just want to do something other than teaching. So I still went all in with this business. I did what she told me to do. I got started, which is kind of what I'm going to share with you guys today about what I did in the beginning. And then actually at the end of the school year, I changed my mind and I was able to leave my teaching job. And now I am a full-time coach, and I really don't have any plans to go back to teaching, which is such a blessing that I was able to do that.
Okay, well, that's an incredible start. Now, we highlighted that the topic was how you hit Success Starter just right out of the gate. So why don't you share, what did you know about Success Club or Success Starter when you first started?
Okay, so when I got started, I was told that Success Club was important by not only my coach, but by Beachbody too. They tell us this is what you need to do in order to grow your business. And I knew that I wanted to start making money with this because I was just living on a teacher's income. So I was willing to do what was supposed to make you successful. And I wanted to do more than just hitting Success Club every single month. I really also wanted to hit Success Starters because I knew that I would get that free summit ticket out of it. And living as a teacher, I knew that I couldn't afford to pay for the plane ticket and the summit ticket. So I knew that I was going to work super hard to get that free ticket. And I love that Beachbody does that for us. It just gives us something else to work for. But my coaches and my upline told me, you need to be at Summit. You need to get this networking. You need to learn from the top coaches and see what they're doing. So I saw them going to Summit in the past and they were successful. So I knew that that's something that I needed to do from the very beginning.
So we're going to get into like what you actually did, but why do you think that coaches have a tough time hitting Success Club consistently, or at least in their first 3 months in the business?
Right. So success starters, I think, is difficult if you make it out to be difficult. And I think it's hard in the first 3 months because you're really just getting established as a coach and you probably don't have a ton of social media credibility. Maybe you don't have a lot of followers, but that's not something that I let hold me back. And I don't let my coaches use that excuse either, because even with all of those circumstances, you can still push and you can still hit Success Club. In the beginning, I was plugged into a team page and I saw my coaches hitting higher Success Club numbers. And I really just wanted to do that for myself too. And I want my coaches to be able to strive for those type of numbers. So what did I do in the beginning and what do I teach my coaches now? I just try to keep it super simple because we can overcomplicate this business so much. So I got started with a 7-day training and I've even shortened it for my coaches now to even shorter than that. And basically it's just show up on social media, start sharing your story every single day with your followers, and not only just your Beachbody journey, but who are you as a person? Are you a wife? Are you a mom? Are you a dog mom? Share all of those things because people want to hear about that. They want to know more about you because ultimately I feel like your people are going to want to join because they want what you have, not necessarily because you're showing up and showing your workouts every single day. That's going to come, but they want to see who you are. So share your story and then start inviting and teaching your coaches to invite from the very beginning. I look at this opportunity as something that I want everybody to know about. And so if someone's following me, if they're watching my stories every day, if they are liking my post, then I'm going to invite them because I have a gift. And that's what I truly believe, that we have this gift to offer. And I just want to give everybody the opportunity to join me. So I teach my coaches to do the same and invite everyone to this.
I'm back. So we're going to get into this a little bit more about what you were doing, but when you first came on board, how did you know to what to do first? What did you do first? So you want to take people through that sequence?
Yeah. Okay. So when I got started, I knew what to do, honestly, just because of what my upline coaches and my actual just coach was telling me to do, and like the expectations that Beachbody were setting for us. So you guys, we all have this amazing tracker that you can print out and you have to actually do it. That's what I always tell my girls. You can't just print it out. You have to actually check off the boxes every single day. But this is such a good tool to use and to introduce your new coaches to from the very beginning, because it's not only telling you like to start inviting and to start posting, but you're following up with people. You're posting in your challenge groups. You're reading that personal development. It really is the whole package of what you need to be doing, because you can't just focus on one thing and expect it to work. You have to be doing every single thing every day. And I'm not saying you need to take hours and hours on your business. Like I told you guys, I was a first-year teacher. I did not have hours. I was just doing this tracker in like an hour a day when I got home. So I also knew what to do, and I had a higher expectation because I saw my coaches and my upline doing it. When I got plugged into this team page, people were hitting Success Club 60. People were hitting Emerald in 24 hours. People were hitting Diamond in 3 weeks. And that was just what I saw from the very beginning. And that's what I want my girls to see as well. Because when you enroll new coaches, they have no idea what other people in the network are doing. They don't know what Success Club is. They don't know the average Success Club that other coaches are hitting. They don't know how fast people are hitting Diamond. You have to set that expectation for them. And that's what I was told from the very beginning. So that was my normal. And only then, a couple months later, did I realize, oh, this is like faster than the average person hits Diamond or higher Success Club. But I would have never known that because my coaches said it from the very beginning that this is what we do. And that was just that was what my expectation was and what I wanted to do. So instead of making Success Club your goal, why don't you up your numbers and therefore like show your girls what's possible instead of scaring them and, making Success Club out to be so hard when really you can push for so much more.
Sydney, you have on the notes that I took from you is that you started sending 30 invites in the beginning, and now how many do you invite? And share how you counted that and how you went up.
Okay, so when I first started this business on the tracker, it kind of has like an at least 5 invites. And like I said, my coaches set high expectations for us. So I crossed out the 5 and we started sending 30 invites every single day. And that's when I was a new teacher. So I kind of told you guys, I'm inviting people who follow me, people who watch my stories. Those include follow-ups for me as well, that number of 30. And now that I am full-time coaching, I send 62 invites a day, at least 5 days a week. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I send 5 invites a day, I'm going to start getting traction eventually, right? But if I'm coming out of the gate and I'm teaching my new coaches, and as a new coach, I was doing this, sending more invites, you're going to get success faster because you're working harder. And working harder in this business honestly just means doing more, sending more invites, inviting to your boot camp publicly more, talking more about coaching, and just like taking like the 10x rule. If you guys haven't read that, take it from the level that this tracker gives you and just bump it up a little bit. Get out of your comfort zone and do a little bit more.
Okay, so you said 62 a day, right? I just want to make sure I heard that correctly.
62 a day, yeah.
Okay, so and you started out this business doing 30 a day. So
right.
So just clarify, what are you inviting to? I mean, you are sending out invites or you're responding to social media questions. Like, what are you inviting people to? A sneak peek or challenge groups? Because 62 is a lot.
See, like in my world, it's not a lot. Like that's what everybody is just expected to do. Like my team right now is doing this like 100 invites a day challenge. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. But okay, so what am I inviting to? It just depends on what time of the month it is. I kind of like structure my month out where certain months or certain weeks I'm inviting to my boot camp and other times I'm inviting to a coaching sneak peek. And my invites are so simple, guys. And I tell my girls and I tell everybody, invite how you want to be invited. But for me, I'm just saying, hey girl, I'm running this April boot camp and I'm wondering if you wanted to get some more information. Like simple as that. Do you want to get a spot? Yes or no? And just giving them the opportunity to see what it's all about and then giving them more details if they're interested in learning a little bit more. But they usually know what it is because they watch my stories and I'm talking about it all the time on there.
Okay, so it's really all just a matter of perception. I mean, like 100 you think is a lot. 62 I thought was a lot, but you came out really not knowing that 30 was a lot, you know? Right. So it's like you didn't know what you didn't know, so you just went all in. Okay, so then the second thing you said was sharing your story. So what story are you sharing? That you were a former teacher or that you had success with our products? Go ahead and talk about what you're sharing.
Okay, so when I talk about sharing my story, I mean sharing everything. So yes, I'm talking about my Beachbody journey every single day, whether that's something that's going on now or kind of doing like a flashback to here's where I was before, here's what I did, and here's where I am now. So always giving people like what the problem was and giving them a solution to their problem, because that's what Beachbody was for me. It was like a solution to the problem that I had, and that was just being unhappy, not being healthy, not feeling like myself. So I feel really as new coaches, if you're a new coach watching this, you have such an advantage to this, to sharing your story, because honestly, people don't want you to just show up with a 6-pack of abs with perfect nutrition and like, you know, lifting super heavy weights every single day. They're not going to relate to that. They're not going to, like, most people won't. If my coach just showed up like that, I'd be like, cool, good for you. That's not me. But what I was able to do as a new coach was to take people through the whole journey from day one. I showed up 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay, this is really hard to get up right now. I have to go to work after this. I have to teach. But here I am showing up. I showed them, guys, I love eating out. I love fast food, but here's how I'm fixing it using these portion control containers. I told them I don't like shakes, but now here's what I'm doing. Like, here's this shake that has like changed my total outlook on how I feel about that, and just taking them through that. So not only your Beachbody journey, but people got to watch me transform from being a very, very negative person on social media to someone who was positive and uplifting. And if I would have just waited until the end of 80-Day Obsession, or until I had a six-pack or the perfect body or the perfect life, whatever that is, if I would have just waited till that point to show up on social media and start talking, think about all those people I would have missed in the whole journey. People need to see that. So if you're a new coach watching this and you're like, I don't make that much money, I don't have that much experience with fitness, that's okay. That's what your people want to see. They want to see you making this transition into the person that you're becoming. And they want to know how the heck you're doing it and how they can do it too, because that's what they want. So share everything.
Okay, awesome. Everybody is on Facebook just going 62 invites. Oh my gosh. But I love it.
But people make it out to be so scary. But if you honestly just set that expectation for your new coaches and get it out of your mind that it's so hard to send 62, I promise, guys, put on a playlist, send 62 invites, like set a timer, and then you're done. And you're like, wow, that was so easy. I'm going to do that again. But it's honestly just getting out of the mindset that this is so difficult.
So so how did you get out of that mindset? Now, you mentioned personal development. So how you said in the beginning it's going to be hard, and you were negative on social media. How did you get yourself out of that into a new mindset?
Right. So I do love personal development. And in the beginning, I did not love personal development because I was that negative person who was like, I don't need this. Like, I'm totally fine without it. But guys, personal development, this business is going to get hard. And I just said it wasn't hard, but there's going to be times where it gets difficult and where maybe you don't want to show up anymore. Maybe you don't want to do this. And you really need to be feeding your mind with those positive thoughts to get through that and to remind yourself like what you're doing this for and why this is worth it. So in the beginning, I really needed to focus on my mindset. And I feel like that's what a lot of new coaches need, is a mindset shift. So my favorites were Mastering Your Mean Girl. That was my absolute favorite. You're a Badass, and Girl Wash Your Face. So those are three really common ones, but I think that those are really good ones for mastering your attitude towards this business. Because if you have a negative attitude, it's just not going to work out.
Okay, that was great. And Rachel Hollis is going to be at Summit, so she's
right.
For everybody gets to see her in the general session. Just thought I'd put that plug in. I want to ask you a question about the expectation of Success Club. I mean, right now, Success Club is a club where just achieving 5 points gets you in this club, and 5 points is basically selling 3 challenge packs. But why do you think it's important to set an expectation of achieving Success Club early on as a coach?
Okay. So I think that really, I tell my girls when they get signed up as a new coach, and I was told this as well, you need to hit Success Club if you want to drive your business forward. If you are really serious about this, let me retract that. You don't even have to be really serious. I told you guys, I didn't want to quit my job. I didn't want to make this 6-figure business. I just wanted something else, but I knew that I wanted to be successful at it, because what was the point of doing it if I wasn't even going to like break even or be successful? So telling your coaches from the very beginning, this is how you're going to grow your business and how you're going to push yourself. But then on the flip side, I tell my girls, if you really do want to make real money with this, if you really want to grow your team and be serious about coaching, you need to be doing more than just hitting Success Club, doing more than just hitting Success Club 10. You should be striving for a lot more. And earlier you asked me, like, how did I get out of this mindset of like thinking it was hard? Is I never was in this mindset, and I don't let my girls get into this mindset either, because if we come in with new coaches joining us and we're saying, if we personally are like, yeah, Success Club 20 is like unattainable. It's so hard. I've never hit it before. Diamond is going to take us 6 months because that's how long it took me. That's what your coaches are going to do. But what my coach did was she was hitting Success Club 60 to 100. She hit Diamond in 3 weeks. And she told me, look it, Sydney, this is what I did. I can do it. So why can't you do it? And even if you don't have a similar story to tell your future coaches, that's okay. Look at all the success stories out there and don't use that like as something to be scared of and to think that it's unattainable. Use those other success stories to be like, look at what's actually possible with this business. Like, look at what you could do if you actually just put your mind to it and got over the fear that Diamond is so hard, Success Club 20 and above is so difficult. It's difficult. You're going to have to work for it, but I promise it's totally attainable if you just get over the mindset that it's something that you can't do.
You know, I was just thinking about, you had a coach that was doing something and just made it seem like, well, this is what I do. This is what you should do. And so if coaches out there are thinking, well, I don't have an upline coach that's hitting those big numbers or somebody who's my example, then you be the example. You be the example for the coaches that you bring in and say, I've never heard of anything less than SC20s. That's all I do. Or I've never heard of anything less than SC40. So that's all I do. So it's perspective too. So I love that you said you've never even been in that mindset where it could be another way. So this is really great. You're doing fantastic. I have one last question for you. And that is, and you even shared this with me, is that coaches tend to overcomplicate things. So why do you think that happens and where do you think they overcomplicate?
Okay, so especially in the very beginning, I know coaches who just want to know everything, which is great. But I think we need to just stop worrying about all the little details. Like every single thing in this business, you can't know everything. I promise. I am still learning new things, and I can assure you that there are coaches who have been in this way longer than me who are still learning more things about this business. Don't wait. Like I was telling you before, don't wait until you have the perfect story to share. Just start doing it now. You don't need to understand this business. You guys, I did not know what Diamond was. Like, but my coach was like, in 3 weeks, you are doing this. So I said, okay, like whatever you say, I'll just do that because that was the expectation. So you don't have to understand everything. You just have to be willing to work. So getting on, doing your tracker, doing more than what your coach tells you to. Don't rely, like Sandy was just saying, oh, if I don't have a coach that's like that. Take control of your own business. There's other people out there. Look up trainings on YouTube. Obviously, you're watching this call right now. Like you're trying to push your business forward. So do more than what's expected of you. And don't let someone else tell you what it is that you need to be doing. So like I was just saying, making Diamond and Success Club this big, scary thing. It doesn't need to be this big, scary thing. Set out a roadmap for Diamond or for Success Club for the month. Post it up on your wall and every day be checking in to see if you're getting closer to that goal, but just making it into small, attainable pieces. And then another thing that I see my girls doing, overcomplicating things, is once again, getting in this negative mindset, thinking everybody's going to tell me no, or everyone is saying no. Nobody wants to join me. Nobody wants to join my team. If you are living in that mindset that you go into your invites and you're like, everyone's going to say no, no one's going to want to do this. Honestly, everyone's going to say no. Like, I swear it's the universe. That's what happens when you're negative. Sometimes if I'm in a negative mindset, I will go on my phone, sending my invites and being like, what I have to offer is a gift. Send. I could change this person's life. Send. Because you never know who's on the other side of that conversation. And if that's exactly what they needed in that moment, was for you to reach out to them and talk to them about this opportunity that you have. But you have to believe that what you have to offer can truly change someone's life.
Awesome. I want to remind everybody listening or watching that this call was not about hitting SC60, SC100. This call was to focus on the new start, the new coach startup story, which is that she hit Success Starter right out of the gate. That's just Success Club 5. Okay.
Right. I was
But
just giving you guys high expectations here.
he's giving high expectations. I don't want everyone on this, call to think that that is what you have to do, is to hit those massive numbers. I want to restate that she got to work and she thought beyond what she could do. And she came in with the mindset that she could do anything. So she removed the fear and the negativity. So that is just an incredible story. I think you're very, very real. I really appreciate you sharing your new coach startup story, because sometimes people come in and they don't know any different. So if they don't know any different, they don't do any less. So,
right. And right, I don't want to like come on here and scare new coaches and say you have to hit Success Club 60 or Diamond in 3 weeks. No, but like, what could you do if you actually just had that mindset and we're like, that's what I am going to do? It's totally possible, you guys, and don't count yourself out.
That's great. That is really great. So, to close out the call, it's the last question that I usually ask, and that's about personal fulfillment. So you mentioned that you were a former teacher and you did leave to become a full-time Beachbody coach in the year and a few months that you've been coaching. So what has coaching meant to you personally?
So, I mean, coaching just means so much to me. I imagined my whole life being a teacher, just kind of like going through the motions. I did love my job, but then once I figured out what Beachbody had to offer and what it could do in my life, I knew that I couldn't pass up this opportunity. I have the opportunity to travel. I have the opportunity to do things without having to ask off, which was like my least favorite thing in the world. And I was given the opportunity to leave my teaching job in a short amount of time, and not only just leave my teaching job, but I've been able to triple my teaching income in the year and a half that I've been coaching. And I could have just really never imagined that. And just me and my husband are so grateful for this opportunity and for what it's going to do for us and for our future family. So I just can't say thank you enough to Beachbody. I love it.
Well, we can't say thank you enough for becoming a coach and sharing today. Facebook is lit up with congratulatory comments because it's always good to hear from another newer coach, what you did, how it's working for you, and just your enthusiasm about this business. So thank you so much for coming on today. And with that, everybody, this morning I was listening to a podcast on my way to work. I was listening to Oprah Winfrey's masterclass, and she had Robin Roberts on there. And she said something that really made sense to me. Dream big and focus small. I wrote it down because sometimes we have lofty goals and dreams, and then it's so overwhelming that we are paralyzed. But if you focus on the small tasks that get you to your goal, and like with Sydney today, it was the invites. That was how she started. She didn't know any different. She just invited. She started with 30. She's now at 62. Don't freak out. This is her way of saying, I just did what I was told. I did what was working. And so it's all in the mindset. If you think it's too much, then it's too much. I said 62 a day, and she's like, yeah, like she didn't even flinch, right? So with that, I just want to say to everybody, thank you for listening today to the Wake Up Call. There's always little tidbits of information that strike you as new, or if they don't strike you as new, that means that you are on the right track and doing the right things here. So with that, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.